Today I wanted to talk about, the theme of the day is it's Father's Day, right?
Yeah.
So we have the theme of fathers and what fathers represent, what fathers have represented throughout history, and what we sort of need to embrace as what fathers should be representing these days. Now, how many people here were raised without their fathers in their homes? All right? So, some people would say it's an epidemic. At a minimum, it's a problem. And whenever you take something that's sort of a part of the formula, part of the recipe, and you remove an ingredient, you can't expect everything to remain the same. Removing fathers from children's lives has caused a debatable spectrum of effects and problems, I would say. And not only individually with our lives, but society at large. Now, I'm not here to argue or to make the case for any sort of traditional or dogmatic look at what a family is supposed to look like. But what I will say is that the factor of fathering and fatherhood in our children is something that needs to be embraced by everybody. Now, I'm a father myself. My father, I've been fortunate enough to always have my father in my life. But throughout history, there have always been those times where the fathers weren't there for a plethora of reasons. Right? It's not always there was a mom and dad throughout every society, throughout history, and all of a sudden there's no more fathers there, because there were wars, there were diseases, there were a whole bunch of reasons of why one or two parents weren't there. But one of the things that I think is missing today that was prevalent in those times is everybody's approach to the value of the fatherhood role. Maybe it's an uncle, maybe it's a grandfather, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's just a martial arts school, right? Maybe it's your martial arts instructor, your football coach, your baseball coach. But there's always been a societal pressure and support to make sure that children had father figures. Now, we have the modern families, right? We have lesbian couples, we have gay couples, we have single moms, we have every permutation of what's across the board. And I don't personally have a problem with any of that. The only thing that I start to raise an eyebrow and start to take issue with is when we start looking at the father's role in the development of our children, and we start to say, or we start to act like it's no longer important. Be happy, live however you want to live, but understand your children, the children of our communities, the children of our societies, deserve the influence of a father. That father may not be in your home, but if that father is not in your home, it is on you to make sure that there's somebody there filling that role. I started doing this 12, 13 years ago now, with the jungle gym. And one of the reasons I did it is because I will tell you, I had parents who worked 50 hours a week. If I had a jungle gym when I was a young man, when I was a teenager, it would have helped me tremendously. A good bulk of my life, my experience with my father was watching him sleep when I got up to go to school. Because he just got back from work an hour or two before that, and was leaving to go back to work, his second job, an hour or two after I went to school. But society has always been there to sort of fill that void, right? To supplement that energy and that influence that children need, little boys and little girls. When we start to say that fathers don't matter, we start to say it's okay for there not to be an influence that's represented by half of your child's parents. I'm not going to go up to anybody and say, your dad doesn't matter, if they have a strong bond with their dad. Well, just the same, if somebody doesn't have a strong bond with their dad, it doesn't make me saying your father doesn't matter any less harmful. Anybody could be a man from a young boy. Anybody could be a strong woman from a young girl. But that has always been a product of strength and support by more than just an individual influence. Now, it's Father's Day, so I'm not going to give the the even 50-50 talk about mothers and fathers. I'm sticking with fathers for a reason. The men that are here know me very well. The women that are here know me very well. But nobody's ever going to accuse me of not being a strong father, of not trying to be a strong role model and male role model for the kids who don't have a father. And the next step of that is somebody who's always going to be outward and very sort of vocal in my support of maintaining that across the board. Everybody here deserves a mother and a father. But the only thing you deserve more than a mother and father is reality. And reality doesn't always have that on your plate. But if we together don't acknowledge the influence or the value of the influence of a strong male role model, we're saying it's okay for fathers not to be in people's lives. And I don't think anybody would agree with that one statement. The Jungle Gym is always going to be a hub of strength, a hub of support. This is going to be the place where you're always going to hear what you need to hear. You don't join the gym, you know, to just have exercise. You certainly don't join the Jungle Gym to lose weight, right? I don't know, I just can't seem to make it work, right? But one of the things you will always find at the Jungle Gym is strength of camaraderie. There's a family, like a lot of people say, you know, my school's like a family, my school's... Are you? Are you? Are you used to dealing with being there for people, even at your detriment, because you see them as family? Because here that happens constantly. Strength in a brotherhood, strength in a tribe is what has gotten people through the generations of society throughout eons and eons of time. There is no reason to think that all of a sudden strength is something that we no longer need. Because when you say you don't need fatherhood, when you say you don't need self-reliance, when you don't need the ability to defend yourself, to protect yourself, to do for yourself, what you're saying is somebody else is doing that for you now. The need hasn't disappeared. The need to defend yourself hasn't disappeared. It's just that a lot of people now have cops. I'll call somebody else to protect me and my family. That wasn't always the case. But now it's so easy to take all those things that we had to do for ourselves and put on other people. And then chastise people who still want to embrace those values. Mothers, fathers, men, women, everybody should have the mentality that strength makes us stronger. To say anything else is to shortchange the potential of development of your family unit, of your tribe, of your children, which includes boys and girls. Alright, so it's Father's Day. Let's support fathers. I put a funny meme up on, I think they're all funny. Some people like are crying or cursing me. I think they're funny. So I put a funny meme up of today being Father's Day, and for the mothers that are holding it down for their children without the fathers in their lives, let's talk about your issues tomorrow. I think that's fair.
Sure.
Let's talk about it tomorrow, because today, even your child who does not have a father, let's still show them that fatherhood is something that we need to embrace, and fathers are still a good thing, whether they have one or not. All right, we'll end on that, guys.